There are many ways to communicate with other people, and sometimes you don't need any words. Around the world, there are hundreds of different gestures that you can do with your hands.
Some gestures have interesting stories, and many gestures have different meanings in different countries. Watch this video to find out 5 interesting facts about hand gestures.
One very popular gesture is thumbs up. You put your thumbs up when you want to say that something is good. It comes from ancient Rome, so it's about 2,000 years old.
In Rome, there were many gladiator fights in the Colosseum. When a gladiator lost a fight, all the viewers could decide, should the fighter live or die? They used their thumb to show what they were thinking.
But nobody knows what exactly they did. Some people think that no thumb meant that the fighter should live, and a thumb up meant he should die. Other people think that a thumb down meant he should die, and a thumb up meant that he should live.
There are many other stories about this gesture. Usually in these stories, it's a good thing to put your thumbs up, so today it's a positive gesture.
For our next gesture, you put your fingers together, like this. There is an emoji for this gesture too. The creators of the emoji say that it stands for "What do you want?" and it comes from Italy. But people from other countries say that it has a different meaning in their country.
For example, people from Arab countries say that the gesture means calm down or wait a second. And in Korea, the gesture stands for a dumpling, which is something to eat. A Korean pop star uses the gesture a lot and says, "I mandu you." Mandu is the Korean word for dumpling. She doesn't say, "I love you" to her fans, she says, "I mandu you."
You can wish someone good luck with many different gestures. For example, in Germany, you press your thumbs. In the UK, there is a different gesture.
Exactly. We don't press our thumbs, we cross our fingers. This comes from a very old tradition. People didn't cross their own fingers, but they crossed the finger of another person. They thought that their wishes would stay where the fingers are crossed.
But crossing your fingers behind your back means something different. It means that you're not telling the truth when you promise something.
Another famous gesture is the V sign. In 1939, during World War II, there was a famous slogan. It was V for victory. When the British heard the slogan, they started using the slogan with the gesture.
20 years later, there was a war in Vietnam. The president of the USA used the V for victory gesture. This made people angry because they wanted the war to stop. They started to use the gesture differently. They used it as a symbol for peace. Today, more people use it this way, and not as a symbol for victory.
But you have to be careful with this symbol. In some countries in the world, the V sign can mean something negative.
Another interesting fact about the V sign. In some countries, people use it as the number 2. In the UK and the USA, for example, people count on their fingers like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on.
But in other countries, like Germany, the number 2 looks like this. They don't use the middle finger, they use the thumb. They count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This feels very weird to us British people. We learn to count differently with our fingers.
So now you know more about some hand gestures. Of course, there are many more gestures around the world.
Which other gestures do you know? What do they mean in your country? See you next time!